Hi everyone. I thought I will show my face today, but I'm saying hi to you and going through what we will cover on during the office hours. Can you see me? Because I did something and I don't know what I did. And yeah, you should be able to see me.
Yes,
Let me know. Yeah, perfect.
yes, we can
Uh,
see you.
Great. So hi everyone. Thank you for joining for another session of Office Hours. If you would like to switch on your cameras and say hi for a few minutes, then that'll be great. If not, that's like, no pressure. Yeah, so what we'll do today, we will go through create new product tool. And that's one of my favorite tools actually in Foyr. And I will show you how to use it. I will explain each tool, what it does. And then during explaining, I will design something. Um, and then we will have a challenge for you. Hopefully you will like the challenge. I will reveal it at the end of the session. Then, of course, if you will have some questions, I will go through them. If you have some questions in between, type them in and I will try to check them from time to time and see, like, if you want me to repeat any steps or whatever. I will try to cover the questions as well during the explanation of what the tool does. So with the create new product tool, we can create coffee tables, cabinets, shelves, anything that is built in, custom wardrobes, um, fully customized kitchens. And when you start using it and you will get a hold of it, then this tool is really, really easy to use, is really user friendly. You just have to know how to use it. I'm using it for a couple of years now, and I'm sure that some of you are with us for a longer time as well. And at the beginning, I was using it a bit differently. And now, like, when I'm using it longer, then I have, like, when I'm creating the kitchens, like, I have my own tricks or ways of designing it so it looks way more realistic than on renders or walkthroughs. So I will show you all of that. I will also show you how you can start to create L-shaped or U-shaped kitchens. And we will also create glass cabinets. So I'll show you how you can create glass cabinets with the create new product tool as well. So I think with no further ado, we can jump in into designing process and create new product tool and going through each tool. So I will switch off my camera for now and I will jump in. Okay, I will share that and hopefully you will be able to see my screen from now on. Okay, where is my Zoom? Okay, so that's the agenda. I went through it already. So now I will first show you an example of what kind of kitchen I will create today, and I will guide you step by step, and then we'll go and create it from scratch. So that's the kitchen that I've chosen, that we'll create. Not full, it's just with the contemporary flat slab cabinet style, and then we will create this glass cabinet as well. So first we'll go to 3D. I have like a room created here. We have to be in 3D to use the create new product tool. And now we just double click on any of the walls and we can start using our create new product tool. If you don't see create new product tool, just you see like the edit tool in the top center of your screen, then just simply either click on the black part on the left or just escape on your keyboard, because that means that you selected something. So like even when we double click on the wall, then we have the wall selected. That's why you can't see the create new product tool. So just go out of it, either escape or just click on the left side of your screen. And then we go to create new product. With create new product, as you might know by now, you can have items created for you, but we're here today to learn how to use it. So we go with create yourself. These are the tools available for create new product tool. I will go through them just quickly, and then when I will be using them, I will elaborate on each. So with the pen tool, you can draw lines. So you can create any shape, and also when you have a shape created, like a 3D shape, you can also draw lines to create from the 3D, create again a different shape. With the rectangle, that's the tool that we, in 99% of time, we start creating our objects. So we can use rectangles, squares, and then work with depth, etc. Then we have a circle, so that's for circular shapes. And this one I'll show you because we won't be using it today. So with the circle, we click on the circle, you click anywhere on the grid, and we create a circle. You can type in the size of the circle. Then again, you can use the push and pull that we will be using for our rectangle to give it a depth, for example. And now you have like round object. So for example, for a coffee table top, then like, you can use circular shapes. Let me delete that and we'll just go back to the create new product. And then we have an arc tool. So arc tool, that's for creating arches. So we can create rounded edges with that. We can create arched cabinets. If we will have a bit of time, I will go through that tool as well, just to explain how to do it. Well, I will make sure to have time, or I will even start with this one and then we can delete it and go with our kitchen. Then we have a push and pull. Push and pull is to creating, or we can remove some parts of the object. Then we have the offset. Offset is for creating offsets of shape. So like frames, or we can use the line offset to measure out whatever we need, and then lines are being created. I will show you because we will be using that tool for creating our kitchen cabinets. Then we have a trim tool, so we can trim any unwanted lines. And then we have a ruler tool. So if you have to measure anything out, then you can use the ruler tool for it. And then you can, first I will start with the arch cabinet, and then we'll go through creating the kitchen. Perfect. I don't know why this one is not visible on my main page. It always was. Now it's not, so I just, okay, it's here. Yeah, great. So now when I have it here, it's just a bit easier for me. Okay, so to create the arch shape, first we have to start with the rectangle. So I will create rectangle shape. I'll start from the bottom. So we go to the arc tool, and from here we have a regular arc and we also have the 3D arc. So with the regular arc, we start a point where we want our like arch to start. So we literally click on edge and draw a line. It will draw a straight line for us. Now we click and we drag it up to create arch. Like I never go up to the very, very top, so it's not touching the edge, like the top. So because it's easier to remove this part. So now we go with the push and pull, simply remove it. Now we have our arch. With the 3D arc, it works a bit different. So we will start with one point, then it will find a midpoint, and then we will go to another side. For that, it's better to measure out, like, draw a line with your ruler tool, just to make sure that both sides or ending at the same point. So you have two different ones to use. Okay, so I will go with this one again. Remove with push and pull. And now what we can do, we can create the offset. So that will be the frame for our cabinet. So we simply go with the offset tool, not line offset, just a regular offset. You click in the middle and you drag it. You can type in whichever offset you want. So if you will be creating multiple items, like we will be creating kitchen cabinets, then we will just type in the same number. For this one, this is fine. Now we can use the push and pull to create the cavity. So we'll just push it in. And now we can create our shelves. For the shelves, we can use the line offset. So we will go from the top up. And now we can type in the distance between the cabinets and the height of the shelf. And now with the push and pull, we go to push and pull again. We will highlight this part and then simply connect it from one side to the other. You can add as many shelves as you want. And now this is your arch cabinet ready. For arched and circular shapes, the only thing is that you have to use paint color for texture, because otherwise you will see all the elements here. So for example, if I will click on done and now I will go to texture, and let's say that we will do like dark blue or blue gray, something like that. So if I will put it, okay, I'd say this one maybe is too big, so you just have to go one by one. Sometimes with the smaller ones, it will just automatically go on the full top, like here, from the top, for example. And the good news is though that you can apply multiple textures. So let's say that you want a different backing, like like a wallpaper or some texture in the back, then you're free to apply any other texture. So now let me go back. We will delete it and now we will start with the kitchen. I'll just check if we have some questions. Okay, nothing for now. So we will start with our kitchen. First, I will show you how to start with the L shape and U shape kitchens, and then we'll just do like a regular just on the one wall kitchen, and we'll go to cabinets, and I will explain each step. So again, create a new product tool and create yourself. Now for your, I normally start drawing my kitchen either on the wall or on the floor. For your U-shape or L-shape kitchen, you have to start drawing on the floor. So let's say that we have L-shape or U-shape kitchen that goes from one wall to the other. Let's say that we have like like a like a walkway here, but then we have our countertops just go all the way. So we will go with the rectangle tool and we will trace over the floor. Now we will give it some depth, so that can be the height of our cabinets. If you want to create a countertop straight away as well, then add it to the height of your kitchen. So like put the total height of the kitchen together with the kitchen worktop. Now we will go with the line offset and we will start from the edge and we will measure out the depth of the countertop. So we will type in the depth of the countertop, escape. Now we will start from this side as well, the same. And now from this side, we will create a U shape. It's like you will do the same for an L shape. So for the L shape, we will just leave it as it is. But now we will add another side for the U shape. Now we will use the trim tool and we will trim these lines away. So when we will apply texture, it will be seamless. If you want to leave the lines, then you're free to do so. If you think that it will like, look more realistic, because like we always have joinings on the countertops, then you can do it. I just prefer like, sometimes it just looks way nicer when we like, apply a texture and it's like nice and seamless. So now when we have this one, we will go with the push and pull and we will simply remove this part. And now you have your U-shaped kitchen and you can start working on your cabinets, the kitchen plates and the kitchen worktop. Okay, so now let me delete that and we're starting again from scratch. Hopefully you understood each step for like L-shape and U-shape kitchens. Now I will create a kitchen that I showed you at the beginning. So we'll go with the rectangle tool again. I will start it with at the edge. I will give it the, okay. And now push and pull, and we'll give it a height together with the countertop. So I will create a countertop within that product here. So now I will start with the plinth, so the kitchen board or whatever anyone calls it, because there are multiple names. So that's literally the baseboard that goes under the cabinet. And then I will create also line for my kitchen worktop. And for that, I'm going to the offset tool and line offset. The reason that I'm using that tool is because it is faster than going with ruler tool and then tracing over with the pen tool. Because you can do that as well. You can go to the ruler tool, measure it out, and then trace over. But the line offset will do the two steps for you in literally one movement. So we'll go with the line offset. We'll start from the bottom, click, take it up, type in the height of our plinth and click on enter. So we have one line. Now escape and we'll go from the top. And now another line and we have our countertop. Now push and pull. We go to our plinth. You can always rotate your screen so you're able to see if you're using the push and pull correct way. So if you actually push it in or pull it out, because sometimes when you're look at it from the front, you might get confused. So it's better just to rotate your screen and do it like that. So now I will just push it in slightly just to create like a step for my plinth. And now for the countertop, I will pull it out. Okay, so we have our plinth and we have the countertop. Now they are separate parts of this rectangle that we created. So with the create new product tool, as I mentioned before, each component that you will add, like for example, now if I will do the cabinet, then that becomes separate part of the the full unit, so you can apply as many textures as you want. So now for the cabinets, um my first step before I start designing kitchens for customers is to have planned my cabinets. So like I will either draw my kitchen on a piece of paper when like when I will go to a client and take all the measurements and I know how big is the kitchen, then like I will plan out all the cabinets. So now when I'm drawing, it just like it goes way faster. So I know what I'm doing. I have my measurements on the side and I can just go and and just like, go with the line offset and measure everything out, and then add drawers where I need them, a sink cabinet when I where I need it. So like, that will just make your life and make your work a bit easier, and make your life easier and make your work faster. So have your, all the measurements on the side so you know what you're doing. So now we'll go again, offset, line offset, and we're starting from this side, and we will be adding our cabinets. So I will do all of them the same width, just to, to make this faster so we can cover any questions that you will have at the end. Now, if we need drawers, then we can add drawers. And for the drawers, we can, again, either use the line offset and go through each cabinet, wherever we need drawers, or I will show you an example. So for example, if I want to have drawers here, then it will only draw drawers on one of the components. So I can either do it this way. So let's say that we have half here. It will always find a midpoint for you. So now we have like a 4 cabinets. Then again, I can go to another one and do the same if I want to have the exact amount of the same drawers. 1, 2, 3, and we have a fourth one. Or if you need more and you don't want to go one by one, then you can simply use the ruler tool. The ruler tool will go through each cabinet, and then you can simply either use the pen tool to trace over. Let's say that we have, again, drawers here, or you can use the rectangle tool and trace over with the rectangle tool. So whichever is easier for you, you have few ways to do it. Okay, so let's say that we have drawers here, and then I will also add drawers at the back. Like, I love drawers. In my own kitchen, I have, like, I think I have only cabinets for my sink cabinet, and then I have cabinets on the island, and then the rest are drawers. And they're great for plates, for pans, for cups, everything. So yeah, so I'm really a drawer person. In my previous kitchen, I didn't have as many drawers, and I knew that, like, that I have to change it in my new kitchen. So yeah, and I do love my drawers. So now when we have that, we will use the trim tool and we will trim away these lines. Now, if you, for example, didn't want it to have as many drawers, or you want to change them, then simply use the trim tool and delete these lines. You can, you can still delete them. So you can do that with the trim tool. Now, what we will do, we will create our cabinet, because now we only have lines. If you will leave it like that and go to 3D and start applying textures, then when you will apply textures, it will look like one single unit. So you won't have any definition between the drawers and between the cabinets. So now we will create that definition. For that, I will use the regular offset. So I will go with the offset. I'm going with the drawers first. And now I will type in the same offset for each of my components. So we have 0.01. And just try out which one, works best for you. And for me, this one, like, I will be using it nearly all the time. This offset just works best for me, and it looks realistic then on the renders. Okay, so we go through, that, like, you have to go through each of the components with the offset tool. If you want to create shaker style, then you just do multiple offsets. I will show you an example in a second. So for example, if I want a shaker style, then I will create, let's say, one offset or even two offsets. And now with the push and pull, I will pull this one out, and then I will just leave this one a bit in and pull this one out. So I have that um, depth when, like, then when I will do the render, it will show nicely and that it's like, three-dimensional. Now for these cabinets, for a flat style, like more contemporary, what we will do, we will pull out each of these components. So that will look like kitchen in a real life. So like we have the frame and then we have the cabinet doors. Like the cabinet doors, they're always slightly smaller. They don't touch each other, and you can see like the like tiny gaps in between them. So now what we're doing is we're going with the push and pull, and we will pull out this one slightly. Again, we will do that with each cabinet. And I can promise you that if you will do it that way, then like your kitchens on the render, they will really look great and really very, very realistic. Because we are creating that depth and dimension. So then when we are applying textures, we can even play a bit with the hues of the same color. So like, so you can create even more depth on the cabinets and make it even more realistic on the renders. Okay, the last one. Okay, so now we have our cabinets. If we want to create a sink straight away as well, like you don't want to apply a sink from the catalog, you just like, we have the integrated sink in, for example, like if we will have a marble countertop, so like we can use the same integrated sink with the same marble texture. So now we can create our sink. Then again, we can measure everything out. But now I will just simply click on the rectangle tool and draw out my sink. So this will be my sink. Now push and pull, give it a bit of depth. And now we can either use the circle and create like a tiny circle in the middle. And that will be our drain. Now push and pull, and we can either push it in a bit or pull it out. Okay, that looks even like, again, another detail, and we can add like, black or brass texture into it. Okay, so it's our sink here. I might make it a bit deeper. Because this one wasn't too deep. Again. Yeah, push and pull. Okay, so we have this one, and now I will show you how to create the glass cabinet, like my way of creating it. Maybe you have different ways, and then you can share it if you think that, like, your way of doing it is like, better or faster. But I will show you how I do it. So now we'll click on done. You have to remember that when we are adding, like, for example, now, like the open shelves or the wall cabinets, then you can do it in, in a separate with a separate create new product. You can still modify it. So if you need any modifications at all, like for example, you're thinking of adding more drawers here, or like, creating two cabinets instead of like a one big door, then like, two doors, then simply click on the item and go to modify, and then you can modify it. Also, when you're working on it, we can have our environment on, or we can have our environment off. So that's all, and that all depends how you want to work. Like, if it's too distracting for you, then you can switch off the environment, you can hide it and just work with the product. Okay, so now we have it done, and now we will go and create the glass cabinet. So again, I'm going with the create new product tool, create yourself, rectangle. Okay, so we have something like that. Now I will give it a bit of depth, just a bit. And now I will click on done and I will clone it. So I will select it and I will go with the clone tool. I will just leave it on the wall, and I will click on detach clone. So whatever I'm doing with this one doesn't go onto this part that I am cloned. So I will just leave that here. And first I will start with my cabinets, and then I will go and create the door out of this one that I cloned. So now I'm going to modify, push and pull, and we'll give it a depth. Now we will create two doors out of it. So we will go with offset, line offset. It will find the midpoint. And now again, offset regular. And we are creating the offset. Now push and pull to create the cavity. And now for creating shelves, we can go with the line offset. That's the best way to do it. And we can measure everything out. So I have this, now escape. And I'm starting from the top line and again. Okay, now push and pull. We're highlighting this part here and we're going to pull it up to the edge, up to like, another side. Okay, so we have our cabinet. Now we click on done. You can put like, or like whatever you want in the cabinet. We can add LED lights, for example, under the cabinet. For that, you will go to catalog and you will type in strip light. And these ones, you can use them for under the cabinets and they look really nice. They will give you like a lovely, especially the neutral one or the white. Again, depends what kind of color you want. I'm using mostly the warm strip or the warm white. It just like, gives like a more delicate hues than the white one. Now we're going back to our doors. So we click on this item and we go to modify. Now we can leave it like that, or we can make them not as thick. Now again, offset, line offset, go to the middle and regular offset. And here I will create slightly bigger offset than I did on the cabinet. So I'm making sure that like, that the cabinet edges or covered. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's the way. Okay, now we can push it in for, like a bit more realistic result. You don't have to, but yeah, I'll do it. So now we click on done. And what we're doing now. So now we will be applying textures, both for our doors. Free movement, we will put it away from the wall. So now I will go to texture. Let's say that we will do oak frame. Now copy texture and material. That's the easiest way and fastest way to move it to the other side. Don't forget about the edges, because here each side is like a separate component. So we have this. Then we will move it to another cabinet. But now what we'll do, we have to go and find the glass material. So we go with fluted glass. And now I will just drag and drop it. Oh, not here. Oh, I think I give it a bit too much of, yeah, I think I just removed the parts that were inside. So just let me go back. Okay. So now I will start with the fluted glass. So with the fluted glass, we will apply it here. Then we can use the texture and material to move it to the other door. And now we also have to apply the glass material in the back of the cabinet. So it is see-through. So now, as you can see, we have the doors. We can put them onto our cabinet. And then when you will have, all the items inside of your cabinet, because it will be, of course, easier to apply them when you don't have the doors, like put whatever you need inside. Then we can group that cabinet and it will be, as one. So if you would like to move it, then it will be like one unit. So as you can see, now we have a glass cabinet. So that's the way I create glass cabinets. So I will create the shape. The same I did arched cabinet. So first I will create the shape, then I will clone it. I will click on the touch clone. So they are like two separate products. And then I will create shelves in one, and then I will create doors with the second one. Now to group it, we just simply click on one of the products, click on Command if you're using Mac, or Control if you're using any other brand, and select the other part, and now click on Group Products. So now if you will move it, you will move the full cabinet. For the textures, as you already know, you can upload your own textures. If there isn't anything that you like in our catalog, but we have plenty, so hopefully you will be able to find something for yourself. When you're using textures, try to apply it first on a bigger surface. So I will even go with the cabinet doors. Edit it on the bigger surface, like we can, for example, rotate it, that goes this way, and then move it to the other components. So like, so you actually like the finish. So now I will go. Oh, and another tip. When you're applying a texture and you're editing it, so for example, if I will like, want to make like add a more texture into it, then use the texture size, not the number of tiles. So even if you edited it by changing the number of tiles, before you will move it to another surfaces, click on texture size. When you will do it, then when you will be applying the texture on other components, the texture will look the same. If you will have a number of tiles and move it to another surface that it's larger or smaller, then the texture will look different because the number of tiles depends on the size of the product that you're applying the texture to, whereas the texture size is just the texture size. So in no matter what, big or small the surface is, the texture will look the same. So now we'll go with the texture material, and now we will simply move it to the other component. Don't forget about the in-between parts. So just zoom in and just go to each part of the cabinet. That will take a bit of time, but it is worth to do it right, because then your renders will look great. So the same on the countertops. When we will drop a texture and we will edit it, then the texture size, and now we can move it to the sink, for example. If we won't do it, then the texture will look just like, different on the smaller or larger areas. For so for the textures, you can use your own if you have to, but our catalog is really big, so if you're in a hurry, then I'm sure that you will be able to find something in our catalog. Okay, so before can you see me again? You should. So before I will go through your questions, if you have any, I will announce the challenge that we have for you. So for the challenge, we want to that will be the first time that we'll do it, but we'll see how it goes, and hopefully that will be something that we'll be doing session by session. So we would like you to start using or introducing whatever we have covered on the office hours in your own designs. So for today's challenge, we want you to create something with the Create New Product tool. You have time, like you will have, you will get, you should either get an email or form in a chat box where you can upload your projects with the product made for by using the Create New Product tool. And you have time until Tuesday midnight. And for the next office hours, I will choose 3 designs. I will go through them. I will explain what I like about them, and then one person will win. When you will win, you will be shared on our community page. You also will be added into newsletter. So it's I think it's worth to try. And and hopefully we will see some of the nice designs from you. Just use your imagination, try to create something different. And okay, I think they're all the details here. So just let me just go and check. Okay, so we have the rules. So let me just, you should be able to see the screen. Okay, so use only the create new product tool to complete your design. Submit your entry via the type form. Deadline is Tuesday. And yeah, so be original. Yeah. And then top three entries will be featured in our next week's office hours. And these are the rewards. So you will get featured in Foyr community and you will win rewards, special discounts and exclusive perks. And you can get a chance to promote your brand or services to a wider audience. So I hope that you're up for it. And now if you have any questions, I will go through them and I will answer them. So what do we have? Can we get a copy of this recording? Yes. So the Foyr already answered that. So do you have any questions about today's sessions, about create new product tool, or maybe some tips that you want to share from your end? I know that lots of you is using the create new product tool as well. Maybe you learned something new today or something useful, so you can share it with us. What's the email to submit the design? Fire team, can you help out with that? I think you should get like a type form. Yeah, you have to submit it through the form, and I'm sure that there's already on the chat, you have a link with the type form, so you can copy it and then you can use it to submit your entries. So that can be, for example, that can be like a walk-in wardrobe or a cabinet or maybe a chair or a table. Yeah, I'm really curious what you will come up with. So, do you have any more questions? You're welcome, Bernice. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, and maybe we'll, you know, keep it and that can be, you know, more frequent. Yeah, because we just want you to participate more in the office hours as well and make them even more interesting and useful for you. So that's what we're here for. Okay, so they gave you an email as well. So if you're not able by any means to upload the design through the form, then you can use the email provided in the chat. So you can save that as well, and you can send them to the email provided. By midnight Tuesday, by the end of Tuesday next. So that will be 15th, 12th, 13th. Yes, by the end of 15th. I will, can you see I will share, yeah. So you should have, you should be able to see the screen. So I will go again through the rules. If you want to do a screenshot, you can, you're free to, you're welcome to do it. So yes, and don't forget to copy the type form link or the email for submissions. Remember to use like nice textures because the textures, they can make a difference. So yeah, so remember that you can upload your own to make it even more original. Yes. So, okay. So if we don't have many more questions, I think we can wrap it up for today. And I'll see all of you next week. I wish you a lovely day today and tomorrow, and have a great weekend all. Thank you all for joining. Take care, guys.